of this Angels
I was like, let me know, man.
I think this is what they used to make changes and shit too.
Put
Like,
together
damn.
a big inning here in the bottom of the
Yeah, and
third.
they be making like the guns and shit
Pitching
like
coach
that too.
Barry Enright is on the mound to
Yeah,
talk with Jack
it's over with if I
Kohanowitz.
learn that.
The Blue Jays have gone walk, home run,
Nah, we got our own
single.
shit.
I think this nigga named Flacco that's in the Mafia trade. I think he know how to do it.
Who's already got an RBI.
Yeah, I think him and his friends. He said he was they all
Barger hit
was
one
doing
of those
something.
sinkers from Kohanowitz. It was
Yeah.
away,
One do
but he was
clothes,
able to
and
cover it.
one
You
do a
can
chain,
still
and one do a
hold
gun,
a
something like
pitch
that.
that's away when you have good plate coverage, and Addison can do that as good as anyone. You don't have to, quote, hit it where it's pitched all the time. In fact,
my
when I
shit
hear
icy.
that, I just find that next to impossible because I'm not sure there's a hitter alive that can see a pitch coming in at 95 miles per hour and decide, okay, it's away, I'm going to go the other way.
I'm getting an
going to
unruly
pull it.
chain.
It's more of a reaction, and
Unruly.
that's why the mechanics of your swing have to be right.
A look back at Guerrero, and now the pitch to Barger, and it's called high. So it'll be ball one on Barger. Barger took a changeup here. You wonder 1-0. Does he sit on the
Bust
two-seamer
down.
here? Does he guess the fastball is coming in? And he pulls it foul. He did not get a fastball. And out in front of it a little bit, 1-1.
You try to time yourself up for a fastball when you're doing that with a 95-mile-per-hour sinker like Kohanowitz has. You'll be out front of the changeup a little bit, and I don't mind at all where Barger is on that pitch.
One and two. Barger was surprised by that one. There have been a number of 50-50 calls at the top of the zone, and some have gone the Blue Jays' way, some have gone the Angels' way.
Trying to come inside there, and it went back out over the plate, caught the top part of the zone, but it looks funny as a hitter.
And this is popped up on the infield.
Good home run, man.
It'll be Shotwell, the first baseman, to make the catch. The infield fly rule was in effect. One
Put
down.
that,
You see
put that
the
out the
distinct
park.
difference in those two at-bats and what the Angels tried to do to Barger. First at-bat was a sinker out over the plate. This at-bat, clearly they tried to crowd him after the changeups with those two fastballs.
It's crazy, bro.
Into a fielder's choice his first time up. He comes up with 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And a check swing foul off 0-1.
Well, Alejandro Kirk is a very good fastball hitter. Hey, that's coming right to the camera. Look out down there. But this is a different fastball right on right because of that movement on a sinker. A little tougher than most righties.
I gotta debadge every card just if I want to use
And now a
it.
ground
Because
ball
every
to
city's
third.
going to
Backs
be
up
bad.
Rengifo to second one and on
They doing that new shit.
time to end the inning.
It don't matter though.
But the Blue
At least I'm learning how to do
Jays
it myself, so I don't gotta
take
buy
the
nothing
lead on
over.
A home run by guess who? George Springer has done it again. And at the end of 3, the Blue Jays lead.
That's gonna be kind of difficult because all the cards got like. All I need is a good like 10 cards though. I don't need the whole all 75 all the time.
This is crazy, bro. I'm KB, bro. I'm amazed, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm fucking amazed, bro.
I ain't hit a home run, man.
What you mean?
I'm amazed about this shit, bro. That just happened, bro. This is crazy.
You just got speaking into existence. Let me join this city and see what the fuck Vex did. Like, fucked everything up. Per usual.
Let me see. I gotta edit the video. Check it out, movie. That's crazy work, bro.
Throwing it so far this season. Safe to say he doesn't want to leave them right over the heart of the plate like that. And here's his slider usage year over year. Through his first 2 starts off the IL, Scherzer threw it only 14 times. Today, 7 times in 57 pitches. It's been his least used pitch of his 5 by a mile, and it was his second most used every season over the last decade. And for someone like Max Scherzer, this is wild. It is not hyperbolic to say that his slider has been one of the best of his generation. He has a 45% whiff rate with the pitch since he entered the league in 2008. That's over 5 points better than guys like Chris Sale, Jacob deGrom, and Clayton Kershaw. So Scherzer's clearly finding a way to get by without his second best weapon so far. But it is fair to wonder how long that can continue. This has been such a bread and butter pitch for Scherzer, Dan. It just feels like he doesn't have the confidence to locate it right now.
Arden, thank you. He's relied heavily on the 4-seam fastball today. He's thrown 29 of those. A lot of cutters with some success. And his cutter, the difference between his cutter and slider, they're noticeable, but they're not huge by any stretch of the imagination. That's the 4-seamer down low for ball 1. He's thrown a few curveballs, and again, just those 2 changeups back-to-back down low to Jorge Soler back in the first inning.
You could argue his cutter is a little slider. That's what it looks like.
That's the play of the day, but like I don't even gotta watch no more sports today, bro.
When he's throwing that slider in, say, the 85 range with a little bit more break, it may be at times,
and
WNBA at this point in his career, maybe it's just spinning up there a little bit, as opposed to his cutter's a little sharper and a little harder.
That is grounded to third, and it's going to eat up Clement. And again,
I think Rob be betting. That's the person you need to be getting in contact with, Rob. But he be doing wins and losses and.
Well, Ernie's had some hot smashes over there, and that's why you call it the hot corner. It's
I
kind
would
of a
tell you
little
Adam in the
and
Discord.
he came up empty off his glove.
My baby on
that goes as
PlayStation.
a base hit for O'Hoppe.
He don't even be in the Discord, only for Call of Duty. So I ain't way gonna be joining this other talk.
Luis Rengifo, who struck out looking his first time up, laid on a fastball, and it's 0-1.
Late on a fastball, you just said. And that's the first thing I thought when you were starting to swing that bat. Got to believe they're seeing the same thing. Interesting.
Bullpen's up again. This time it is Nick Sandlin. We saw Lazaro Estrada up last inning. Remember, Estrada has been a starting pitcher in the minors. He needs a lot of time, and you got to imagine they'd love to give him a clean inning, not come in the middle of an inning. And a broken bat pop-up, the catch by Clement. For one, Estrada's a starting pitcher. For two, it's going to be his major league debut. So, in all likelihood, if Estrada pitches today, it would be to open up to get a clean inning. So if Scherzer needs help here this inning, it looks like it'll be Sandlin.
You wonder there if Max, after the fastball he blew by Rengifo, he threw a changeup away, but I wonder if that's a classic case of Max thinking a pitch or two ahead, throw the changeup off the plate away, come back here, he breaks his back. Always thinking ahead a couple of pitches.
Now Chad Stevens, who just made his major league debut on Thursday, is a 26-year-old, originally an 11th round pick of the Astros back in 2021. And a guy who comes to the majors with some very good numbers in AAA Salt Lake this year, 307, 14 home runs.
Over 900 OPS, right? That's always interesting to see when they come up to the big leagues if they can get anything to translate.
PCL, sometimes you got to take it with a grain of salt. Elevation in a lot of ballparks, and it's kind of ballpark by ballpark dependent a little bit, but there he is in the big leagues just in his first few days in the majors.
Michael Stefanik is a former Angel, also a former Blue Jay. He's been up this year. I remember talking to him in spring training about that transition from AAA to the big leagues, and he'd hit in AAA, just couldn't translate it to the big leagues. And he felt playing out there in that league is oftentimes with the altitudes and the breaking pitches may not break as much. Get up here and they're snapping them off.
And there is a base hit up the middle for Stevens. O'Hoppe's going to come around to third, and that's going to be the first big league hit for Chad Stevens.
How about having your first big league hit off of Max Scherzer? Is that any good?
I ain't hit a home run, man.
This was that breaking pitch down in the zone. Does a nice job staying on. You see the tilt of his upper body getting right out over the plate. Pretty good job by the catcher, O'Hoppe, going first to third despite that little slip around the second base bag.
So the Angels threatening right after the Blue Jays took the lead, and now it's the top of the order, Zach Neto. Hit by a pitch and scored in the first, singled, stole a base, and scored in the third. Pops it foul, 0-1. Former first-round pick, 13th overall out of Campbell University. This guy's a good player, third year in the big leagues. Just off the corner, 1-1. We've seen 5 or 6 fastballs right around there, just close misses by Scherzer today.
Playing on the edges, it's a good place to be, but you want to make sure you nail it once in a while. Get a good hitter back in the count.
What's up, Rob?
Just a token check on Stevens over at first. And again down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Sandlin has been out there a while. He's just looking on right now. He looks ready. Scherzer about to throw 70 pitches, through 71 his last time out, but through 83 against the Guardians the time before that.
Second disengagement from X.
Runner goes from first. They throw through the tag, and he's out. Alejandro Kirk throws out Chad Stevens for out number 2.
But we've talked about the Blue Jays catchers and how they throw, and Alejandro Kirk got rid of this ball very quickly. Watch the foot of Davis Schneider.
He never got to the bag because his left hand got caught up on Schneider's foot.
Just trying to receive the baseball, but in doing so, his foot's in front of the bag, and the left hand goes right into it, and it slows him down and stops him from getting to the base in time. Interesting. Remember, the infielder, you can, if you're in the act of receiving the throw, that's okay.
And now strike 2 to Neto as Scherzer tries to get out of this unscathed. He's got his sign from Kirk. And the 3-2. Grounded to short. Bichette has it. On to first in time. Max Scherzer battling here today, but he gets out of it in the 4th inning. And the Blue Jays still lead 3-2.
I ain't hit a home
Why you
run,
judging me?
man. Can't be telling nigga to hit a home run.
Tofino to Cape Breton, a ride on the Rocky Mountaineer, or a polar bear expedition. Get bonus raffle tickets before 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Join in now at bluejays.com/5050 from anywhere in Ontario or Nova Scotia. Already over $663,000. 3-2 Blue Jays going to the top of the fifth. After Max Scherzer with some help from his catcher, Alejandro Kirk. Got out of the fourth inning without the Angels scoring. Bottom four now. As Will Wagner hits it sharply, but up the middle, Neto is playing there and makes a good play. Wagner 0 for 2.
Well, they'll play up the middle for a lot of hitters, but Zach Neto is about as far up the middle as you can go, and you'll see his initial reaction, boom, right to the baseball. So he's covering plenty of territory far to his left on the other side. You can't shift in baseball anymore, but you can sneak over as far as you can, and he was positioned perfectly.
Here's Ernie Clement.
Bumba
Down the middle, Clement looks at a strike, 1-1. And Nick Sandlin just popped
Look
back
at here,
up the
man.
stairs, so that suggests that maybe Scherzer is done. And Sandlin
Bang!
is going to come out for the fifth. Good thing that was a breaking ball, and it gave Clement time to get out of the way of it.
What the hell is Ward doing, man?
That's a breaking ball that didn't
Taylor
break.
Ward.
You identify this spin, and as a hitter, you tell yourself to stay in there, but then it doesn't do anything.
And then he throws a great breaking ball right on the outside.
It'll be a good
corner.
day today.
Backed up the first slider with maybe the best one he's thrown today, and he gets Clement to ground out.
That's good pitching right there, because any hitter will be a little susceptible on the inner half after that pitch that was in there. A good breaker down and away.
2 down for Davis Schneider, who hit a fly ball to left his first time up. Bounces it foul, third base side.
Hey, hey, Rod. Bro, you should have seen what just happened, man. KB.
The Blue Jays won't see in this
I'll
series.
send it. I'm gonna send it.
Kikuchi started on Wednesday night.
I'm finna send it, bro.
Kikuchi, the former Blue Jay, of course, very popular in his time here. He is having a terrific season. He's got a 2.81 ERA, 2.81 through
Fantastic
18
season.
starts.
Walks are up a bit, strikeouts are up a bit, though. That's kind of who you say is, but he has done very well in his 18 starts.
Saw him very briefly before the game. He was visiting with a lot of former teammates, staff members of the Blue Jays, and was running down the line to go get a workout in, but always a big smile on his face. Two and two now on Schneider. And a good pitch there by Kohanowitz to get him. Through 4 here with the Rogers Center. 3-2 Blue Jays.
I ain't hit a home run, man. Can't be telling nigga to hit a home run. This guy right here? Yeah.
Okay.
Presented by Schneider's returns right after the All-Star break, July the 22nd. When the New York Yankees, yes, the New York Yankees are coming to town again. They'll be here for a 3-game series, including a Looney Dogs Tuesday night. Visit BlueJays.com/promotions for tickets. Now, second game in a row, the Angels are going to get a look at Nick Sandlin. It was Sandlin who came in last night in relief of Eric Lauer and surrendered a 3-run homer to Joe Adell. Adell is due up 4th this inning. The first 3 guys who Sandlin will face today, Joe, did not face him last night.
17 games for Nick. He came back off the injured list June 20th, so he is just getting back into the swing of things.
High ball 1 to Nolan Shanoel.
Taylor Ward.
I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Eric Lauer a little bit. We didn't do
No,
the
he
game
ain't
last
stop
night.
at
It was part of the
5.
Apple
That's cool.
package, but you and I were both watching Eric Lauer's 6 innings plus a couple of batters. Both of the runs charged to him were after he left the game. Came in on the 3-run home run by Adell off Sandlin. And Lauer was fantastic against a team that is swinging the bats well and feeling pretty good about themselves.
Nigga be a $400 day, baby.
6 strikeouts.
I think we could get it.
2.65 ERA through 51 innings.
You try to pitch that hell under.
Today, it's no more calling him the 5th starting pitcher. No, he is a starting pitcher in the Blue Jays rotation. He is settled in very nicely, and what a great performance that was last night, keeping this high-octane offense of the Angels at times down enough. It was scoreless when he left that ball game. Allowed his offense to come back.
You know, you want to call him a whatever, a pleasant surprise, a good story, an unsung hero, whatever phrase you want to use. The Blue Jays have had a number of those. That's how you maybe exceed expectations.
KB, tell that nigga
He certainly is right up there at the top of the list. Here's a pop-up. Clement back in shallow left, 1 down. So Sandlin in, Scherzer done, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 3-hit run, struck out 4. At times he dominated, at times he battled the strike zone a little bit. What do you think today?
That's a good way of putting it. I thought he really battled the phone with so many pushing fastballs that were right around the edges of the zones, and he was really working that side and striking out the side in the second inning. It was hard work this afternoon. And I thought the breaking pitches, and Art did that little piece on his slider that we're not seeing a whole lot of, but it's gone to more four-seam cutter. He is working. And that's what you have to do, I guess, at 30 years old, with the stuff the way it is.
I ain't hit a home run, man.
Outside, a ball and a strike on to Mike Trout.
Now you're leaving a lot to your bullpen, and it's Sandlin for now, but there is a lot of work here to do before the Blue Jays can win this ball game. And that bullpen has been worked hard.
This is game number 12 of the 16 in 16. 16 games in 16 days. They've got an off day Thursday between the White Sox series and the A's, and then after the A's series, it's the All-Star break, and everybody can get a rest and a reset and all that. Trout lifts one to left center. It's playable, not deep at all. And it's Springer in the shadows to make the catch. But you got to know on some level, John Schneider is counting the days until Thursday just to give everybody a bit of a break. And that's why a guy like Lazaro Estrada is on the Major League roster and pretty likely to pitch here in this game.
I think there will be a pocket here, probably right after Sandlin, where he's going to have to give them a couple, and if they can maintain this lead, then maybe you're handing it over.
Unless they go to Pena, who they called up today with Jimmy Garcia going on the IL with an ankle injury. One of those two is getting in the game.
And originally we thought handed over to Jimmy Garcia at the end of the game, but then just before the game we found out he's hit the injured list. So everybody else has to step up, and that's what guys have been doing. Braden Fisher been fantastic in that regard.
Jeff Hoffman's pitched 4 of the last 6. Brendan Little has pitched 4 of the last 6. Little pitched last night. Hoffman did not, but they've both still been very busy the last week.
Yariel Rodriguez 3 of the last 4, including last night.
There's a ground ball to short. And a 3-out, 3-down inning for Nick Sandlin. Through 4.5 with the top of the order coming up for the Blue Jays. They've still got a 3-2 lead on the Angels on this Saturday afternoon. As we get an update now with Jamie Campbell.
How much money do you have in your bank account right now?
Dodgers at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific on Sportsnet 360. Shohei Ohtani is going to be on the mound for the Dodgers. He went 2 innings his last time out. He's gone 1
Gabby, I'm gonna take me a nap, brother.
innings his last time out. Framber Valdez for the Astros. For those who missed it, Houston beat the Dodgers 18-1.